back to the channel, people. Glad to see you here again. This video is all about an upcoming road trip that we've got starting early April. 16 days, whatever, 16 nights. Who cares about dates when you're going to go out there and enjoy yourself? Back to the good old USA. Spent many weeks, months and years there overall, I guess. Let me give you a bit of a backstory to why I get excited about going to the US. Many years ago, I decided to create my own business called Interstate Imports. Interstate Imports was an import company from the US for parts, American auto parts, RVs, limousines, my own cars that I used to import. And I have mentioned this a few times back in stories and posts previous on the channel. I just kind of like to believe that the US, that has done me no harm whatsoever in my lifetime. In fact, it's gave me a good living over 17, nearly 18 years in my own business, for example. And also, my family have had a great input into their lives and been affected by going to and from the USA many times. I find it quite funny when I go on to YouTube and I see these people now doing what we did 30 years ago as families. Oh, first time to Florida and all the rest of it. And great, go out and enjoy yourself. But to me, Florida and me have kind of fell out. I've spent so much money and so much time in Florida, it had to end. So we decided on road trips to go back. Anyway, moving on. The reason why I'm putting this video out there is purely to let you know what's going to happen when we go on this road trip, because it is going to be a quite large trip with a lot taken in and a lot of venues and a lot of places all in one big crash of the southwest and over to LA on the west coast there. We're going to the west coast obviously because it's the start or end of Route 66 depending on how you look at it, if you're going east or westbound. There's a couple of things I want to do in LA first that I'll quickly mention now. I need to go and see a couple of YouTubers if possible. I don't know if I'm going to meet them or not. Just a big shout out there to the GIV. If you're there, mate, I'll come and say hello on Venice Beach. And also nip down to Venice Beach to see what all the hoo-ha's about the homeless down in Venice Beach, which I would like to just see for myself. So we'll do a bit of driving around LA and we'll drive back in, and there's a small diner I want to go and see on the way out, and so that's LA covered. Then once we're actually out of LA, oh, let me tell you what's happening first before we get to LA. I'm missing this. Flying into Phoenix. Once we're at Phoenix Airport, we've got to pick the car up. It is not going to be electric. I've already made a little video about this, a little post about this before, which is here. Check it out on the channel if you want to just see and watch it after watching this one, or even before. Switch this off now and go and see that first, whatever you want to do. We land at Harbour Phoenix, and we've got, once we pick the car up, we get in it, we shove off about a 2-hour drive to a place called Quartzsite. In Quartzsite, there's another YouTuber I want to meet if possible to say hello, and he's influenced me quite a bit about Arizona actually. This guy, he knows Arizona like the back of his hand. He lives in Quartzsite, and Arvia TV, if you're watching this, hello, you have been a bit of an influence on me on this to come over and get Arizona out of my system. So we'll call in at Quartzsite, have one night Quartzsite, shoot up to Lake Havasu, which is a lovely part of Arizona. Go over the London Bridge and have some photos done. Yep, them kind of things. Shoot off from the London Bridge in Lake Havasu and then make our way to LA. LA done, dusted, told you about that. We'll then move on to Vegas, baby. Now, what happens in Las Vegas is maybe 2 days, 1 night, maybe 2 nights, 3 days. We've not 100% decided. We're just going to get it out of a system. The people we're going with, which is my brother-in-law and sister, they've been to Vegas once, but many years ago. And they said, why are we not doing Vegas? I have no idea, because my wife, Deborah, weren't too bothered. And we knew that they'd been before. They said to us, let's do Vegas. Then we're going to go up and out on Route 66. That will take us out of Nevada back into Arizona. So there's 3 states covered already. When we are back into Arizona, we will follow Route 66 through some small towns, as you've seen at the front of this, have a few nights there, and then we're going to shoot up to the Grand Canyon for a train journey, which again will be on the channel. I'm quite sure there'll be some bits that will fail, and I'm quite sure there'll be some bits that we didn't even know would happen. But that's the whole idea of a road trip, is it not? If we don't go north into Utah, we will probably go all the way across the northern part of Arizona and end up towards New Mexico into Albuquerque. We'll finish at Albuquerque, come down through New Mexico, and then back into Arizona, and then end up at Tombstone. Tombstone's got a great history, rest of it, and we'll end up heading back through Tucson, Arizona, and then back up to Phoenix, a place called Mesa. So that's really the basics of it. It's been very, very costly, I must admit, and there's even going to be more cost onward from here. And I know it's going to cost more money than we think. We've already invested heavily in this trip. We know hotels are a lot more now. We know eating out is more expensive than it was when we went back in 2018 and 2019. 2019 road trip is on here, by the way. It's very amateurish in my filming. I apologise for it. It was one of my first big pieces of posts I ever did for the channel. If you want to watch it, it's that one up there. Please do. You know, it was a road trip that we made through Tennessee and went to Nashville and the Jack Daniels Museum and all that malarkey. So have a quick look at that one. And that was done in a very similar vehicle that we're going to have and use for this one. We're going to cover about 2,200 miles. A little less than we did last time. I think we did about 303,500 miles last time. So I might have a bit more time to chill, a bit more time to relax. So KK's going to go out there and chill a bit more than he did on his last road trip. So anyway, that's it, people. Hope you're enjoying the channel. Please subscribe if you've not. And if you haven't, where have you been? I say it every time. You should have been here by now. If you're not subscribed, pop along, do the bit with the icon, subscribe, get the bell, ding dong, and all that malarkey that you're meant to do on YouTube. And we'll see you again, I'm quite sure. Till next time.